What's up everybody? Today's video we're going to go through my top tips for brand new property investors. When I started out in property investing and property developing, I literally had zero money and I managed to save up £6,000. I borrowed £6,000 off friends, family and different people that I knew, and I was able to use that £12,000 as my deposit for my first property. I know what it's like to start off with no money and feel like, you know, how the hell am I going to do this? But this is why you've got YouTube. You can study, watch videos like this, and you know, we'll put you onto some game on how you can actually do it. So tip number one. Is make sure you are studying and studying and studying. I could not emphasize this enough. If you are starting out in property developing, property investing, the key thing you need to do is learn. You need to be every single night, and I hate to say it, but you need to be obsessed. You need to be literally like a crazy person, learning as much as you can. I believe if you do want to do, you know, start out from scratch, then you're going to have that ultimate dedication. So every single day, study. Now, where are you going to learn from? The first thing I say is read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This will get your mind thinking in the right way. Then I'd recommend you read some more technical books. So one book I do recommend is a book by Rob Moore, who is the owner of Progressive Property. It's a book that's really helped me, and it's called The 44 Secrets of Property Investing by Rob Moore. I'll actually put the link in the description of this video, so be sure to check that book out. I believe there may be an audiobook version as well if you don't like reading paper books. Study wise, read those two books, and then I'd recommend you go through YouTube and you watch everything. You know, watch it all. Watch all of the property videos that are out there. My tip number one will be to study. Reading books and watching a lot of YouTube. Tip number two, get yourself a job. Now I know this sounds a bit weird. This sounds like, why the hell would you be recommending to get a job, you know, when I want to become financially free and I want to be a full-time landlord? Well, I'll tell you exactly why. Because if you are starting out with little to no money, then you may need to start out with a residential purchase, meaning that you're not going to go straight for a buy-to-let. You're actually going to get a house to live in, and you might rent out the spare rooms. You might get a house to live in and do up the house and then remortgage it or something like that. But we'll go into those strategies on other videos and later on in this video. But right now, I need you to realize something. If you want to start buying houses, at the start, you're going to either need a big deposit, so 25% deposit, or you're going to need 10% deposit and have a job. So you decide, you know. But I think if you do have a job, it will really help you to get mortgages, and it will help you to get rent-to-rent deals if that's what you want to do. It will just help you to get good credit, which is basically what you need. So if you want to buy a house using a mortgage, they are going to want to know how much you're earning. Can you afford the monthly repayments? That's a massive factor. Think about it, if you was a lender, if you was a mortgage lender, would you really lend to somebody that doesn't have any cash flow coming in every month? The answer is no. You wouldn't give someone £100,000 to buy a house with if you know they didn't have a job and they had no form of income to pay the monthly payments. So to put it into perspective, on a £100,000 house, your monthly payment is going to be roughly around £300. That's on a normal residential mortgage. Keep that in mind, guys. Definitely get a job. You don't have to earn that much, you know. As long as you're earning, say, above £18,000, you can get a decent mortgage. Keep that in mind. Tip number two, get yourself a job. Tip number four, determine your strategy. My tip number four today is determine your property strategy. So I need you to really knuckle down and find out exactly what strategy you're going to go for. There is lots of different strategies that you can start out with. You need to determine what strategy you're going to go for and really dial in on it and stick to it and make it work. So the strategies we have rent to rent. This is when you are basically renting a property off a landlord and you're essentially subletting the property legally and you're making a top slice. So that's rent to rent. Then you have rent to SA, which is where you have a property, you pay the rent to the landlord, but you put it on Airbnb and booking.com. You might make, say, $3,000 in 1 month. You pay the landlord back the $600 and you keep the top slice. So that's rent to SA. And then you have purchasing. You might do something called the BRRRR method, which is where you buy, refurbish, refinance and rent. That's what I do. That's what I specialize in. I have tried rent to SA as well. For me, how I've actually managed to grow my portfolio at a young age is by doing the borough method. So these are all different strategies. You also have lease option agreements. There's different ways and different strategies of getting involved in property, but definitely I'd say choose one and stick with it and really focus in on that. Study that one strategy, and then yeah, just go for it. Tip number 5, go to networking events. Now, this is actually something what you can do for free or for very little money. So for example, in the UK, there is a large network called the PIN network, and they actually have networking events all over the UK, and they're only £20 to go to. So 100% check those out, go to your local PIN meeting. There's also lots of other property people that do run networking events. Most of them are actually free, or they cost say £10, £20. Definitely check them out, go to them, because you want to be around other people what are doing what you want to do. Yeah, that's what I'd recommend you do. So networking events, there you can actually find mentors, you can find people that are doing exactly what you want to do. You can try and pick their brain, and if it seems like they're not that keen, then maybe just ask them and say, listen, do you offer mentorship? Do you offer coaching calls? As I'm very interested to learn how you've done it, and I want you to teach me. Reach out to people, be confident, go to these networking events, and literally, I want you to bring out your inner confidence and go and chat to everybody. And anyone that's killing it, I want you to try and make friends with them. Don't force it, but I want you to try and get near people, get around people that are doing really well. Tip number 6, don't compare yourself to anybody. Make sure that you're not looking at other people, other developers, and thinking, why do I not have 10 houses? Why don't I have 5 houses? Why do I not have 10 rent-to-rent deals? Guys, I don't want you to do that. That is the worst thing that you can actually do, is compare yourself to other people. You might look on social media, you might look at other developers' pages and think, why am I not there yet? I've been trying and trying and trying. But guys, I don't want you to think like that. I want you to really just focus on what the hell you're doing, not what anyone else is doing. It's good to look at how people have got to where they are, but don't look at them in a way and compare yourself and think, they started when they was 20, I've started when I'm 20, so I should have what they have. I'll be honest with you, life's not fair. So stop doing that. Stop comparing yourself to other people, and it will actually mentally mess you up. You'll be so trying to keep up with everyone that you'll actually slow your progress down so much. Everyone has their own rate of success. It might take you 5 years, but then you might have a massive breakthrough and be able to get 10 houses in 1 year. Or someone might just have more of a slower journey. Just please bear that in mind. Do not look what other people are doing. Look at how they got there, look at the strategies they use, but don't compare yourself to other people. That's my top tip. Property investing and property developing is not easy. It's never going to be easy. You know, if anyone's telling you that this is going to be so easy to do, then do not listen, because you know what, guys, it is going to be hard, but you can do it. I mean, look at myself. You know, I've managed to leave my 9-to-5 job when I was 24 years old. I now do property developing full time. I've managed to build up a portfolio of properties, and it's continuing to grow, and I'm only 25 years old. So guys, if I can do it, being dyslexic, being permanently expelled from school, no qualifications, no GCSEs, then guys, you can definitely do it. So please stay focused, you know, remain positive, and just know that you can do it, but be prepared for anything, because it is a hard game, and you know, you do need to study like a crazy person. I'll be honest with you, if you're not studying, I don't believe you'll be successful. So out of all the tips, my main top tip would be tip number 1, which was study, study, study. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe to my channel, and share this video around. I'd much appreciate it. See you later.